And welcome back. I'm absolutely delighted now to introduce our next leader and our next guest, of course, a gentleman who has been a leader and played a stellar role actually in supporting and promoting the FDI environment and projects here in Dubai. Please, a very warm welcome to the CEO of Dubai FDI, His Excellency Fahad Al Gergawi. Fahad, thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
It's so great to talk to you. I get the opportunity to talk to you over the years, and so much has been happening. And I think we, have to look back on the last couple of years, I suppose, in terms of when we look at FDI, and the world has, I suppose, been in a, perhaps a bit of a chaotic stage at times, looking at protectionist measures that have been out there, looking at perhaps a backlash of globalization, all of the things that, probably are not on your agenda. But talk to me about the outlook for FDI and when you really look at global investment opportunities.
Sure. First of all, hi to everyone. I think there are many areas to look into that, but let's be realistic of where we are, what year we are living, and what have happened around us. Regardless of being in Dubai or being in Singapore or Hong Kong or London, everyone got affected, and it's all got to the businesses and everyone else around the investment areas. On global scale, it's more than 50% where the drop on FDI, and we're talking about a drop from 1.4 trillion globally to almost half or even more, and that is by UNCTAD, where the best year of performance a couple of years ago was 2 trillion. We were already in the downturn, but I think that extra dip is understood, looking at where it is and what we can do as investment agencies or as destinations globally. What we need to do to bring back that trust, that confidence. It takes time, but of course it's doable, because what we think about is after COVID is bringing us new reality and new prospect of how things going to be looking like, and how we should be more prepared, not only for such times, but also for what the after COVID going to bring us in terms of opportunities that we can reflect to investors around the world. We look at optimistically, but at the same time cautiously, because we are moving not year by year here, not even 6 months or quarterly. We are almost moving week by week. We used to have day by day, week by week, or 2 weeks by themselves together. And we're monitoring, we are cautious, but we are optimistic. And we think it's doable. We just need to really listen carefully, read between the lines, and get the market, every market signal that we get, and do something about it and translate it to a work plan or work possibility.
Now, of course, it's a very dynamic time in the world, and, a lot of things have, I suppose, the brakes have been put on in a lot. And, consequently, investors are nervous, which we can completely understand. But let's have a look here at home, and let's have a look at Dubai in terms of how successful, even over the years, Dubai has been in attracting new investment. And, of course, also looking at the businesses that have already been here as well, and their success and their continued success. A lot has been happening, to make investment a lot more attractive here in recent years.
Mm-hmm. Dubai have had a track record in terms of facilitating itself as a city, more on the readiness of model. If we look at that readiness model that brought investment long time ago and continues to attract more investors within the years. That readiness that made the city itself incentivized as a system rather than as a component or another. I think this is very important for us to look at. We would want to understand the dimension of Dubai investment climate or and how we can make ourselves more prepared for the future. It's being ready as a system, being ready as a city, being ready as a destination, and also as businesses inside this. One of the areas that we thought would be very important to look at is the comparison between ourselves as a destination, also with other destinations around the world. The last 10 years, if we look at it, comparing ourselves on the global arena, Dubai was among the top 10 performing cities. On capital, we were number 6. On number of projects, we were number 3. And I think this is very important to look at where we are and whom we compete with. It is also important to navigate the global, market challenges together with other destinations. We are in the likes of a global standing of London, Singapore, Hong Kong, but we have our own uniqueness, which is the area that we serve, which is the market of 2.4 billion consumers in the Middle East and the subcontinent, North and East Africa. These are areas of interest to investors, and this area is one of the least looked at in terms of competition. Competition North and South America is there, Europe is there, Asia is very competitive as well. There are a lot of opportunities in our area, and Dubai is the one that is holding that platform to facilitate investors coming into our region. I think this is where we are in the last 10 years, and we want not only to be where we are, we want to be advancing our location and our performance, and as a city that attracts global investment.
Yes, indeed, and I'm very lucky and honored I've had the opportunity to talk to you over the years when we look at what Dubai is doing, and also the ease of doing business here. That has been in place, but it gets better, and I think the initiatives that the government and all of you sit back and you look at and you analyze, and really it is about attracting more business. But what would you say are maybe some of the additional economic initiatives that you could put in place to stimulate the economy, and to stimulate further investment?
I think each destination, even in one country, would look at it differently, depending on the its own economic structure. But there are always ways that you could come up with important and significant facilitation that are different than your next destination and suits you as a destination. I think this is something that UAE overall have excelled in this pandemic time, and it is showing the world that it's not only a safety and security, but also the authorities being responsible towards every single human being living in a country like this. And this have shown in itself in global ranking, where UAE have been among the top performing countries on COVID fighting. And there is one element that I would like to add, and this is the uniqueness to the place and destination in Dubai. It is the system safety. We used to know security and safety, but right now it's system safety. It's a system by itself, and a destination or a city like Dubai that makes itself available, that moves quickly, that absorbs difficulties and shape itself again to really make it to the next level, to what's coming to us, to facilitate it to not only the investors, but also the internal environment, the businesses, the small and medium-sized companies, the large companies, the employees that are here, the families that are living. This is system safety that allows Dubai to be one of the only maybe 3 destinations globally that is open, that can celebrate exactly what celebration is, and that can facilitate itself to be ready for the after COVID. And I think after COVID will bring us something different.
Yes, indeed.
Destinations that are ready,
Yeah.
that will take that.
So important. And indeed, when you look back over the years too, and many people are sometimes looking at what was going on in Dubai, saying it's going too fast or it's going too slow or it's not going to work. I think, yes, the resilience that we've seen in this city, and it's not just about the safety of investment and the security, but again, all of the other systems, as you say, that the city has to offer, and really putting it, on the map as a global player now, particularly, and as a hub. Talk to me also about the World Association of Investment Promotion Agencies. Dubai now holding the presidency of this, obviously adding to your workload, keeping you very busy. But again, how closely are you working with them in terms, of helping to facilitate really and understand the current FDI environment?
See, the same thing goes as Dubai have opened itself to give all friendly countries and cities around us and also around from different parts of the world. It's experience and all the time that came all the way from where we started to where we are today. This is an open book for destinations to take from and to develop where we ended. And this is His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum's, vision for us to be always a beacon for development, an anchor for a new beginning, and a hope maker for many different destinations. We transformed that with our colleagues at WIPA. While being a president for WIPA, World Association of Investment Promotion Agencies, we have 160 different, destinations with us, different countries, provinces, cities, and many more. But there are always bad times that you could come together and see where we can learn from each other. The best practices, the trainings, the skills that we need to take in our hand or develop ourselves to be able to help our economies, to help our countries in such difficult times. While everyone is looking at what to do now, we've been always looking at what to do next or in future. That preparedness is very important. So that training of our IPAs, investment promotion agencies, that exchange of different experiences we had, how we go by it, that relation with our different governments, how we make them more prepared, we suggest, we advise on different elements to be taken into consideration for the comeback. This is very important for all the members at WIPA to get a good different type of models to take from. And this is what we've been doing. We've been just busy preparing ourselves, educating ourselves, making sure that we can come up as a global community and as a destinations altogether. What makes it for a destination is not just the competition. It's a healthy destination that sometimes also can invest in me as a different destination. So that collaboration is very important, and we want to take it further for the next years to come. And we are very proudly setting a new strategy for the world community together, designed by Dubai and executed by and supported by our members.
Yes, indeed. Talk to me perhaps about maybe an example of, how Dubai has worked on maybe a city-to-city relationship to actually, create that mutual benefit. How has that worked?
I think Dubai have been always looking at that complementarity areas. A lot of people comes and say, well, you are competing. Competition is good. Competition makes you always develop. Competition makes you always opening your eyes and ears to what's next, to start looking at new elements of your success story, or areas that you can develop, or some loopholes that you found that you want to make them a new successful element in everything you do. I have an example in mind right now with Cairo, for example. We signed with GAFI, the Egyptian Investment General Agency or General Authority, an MOU that is very unique, not only globally but also for the Arab world. That we will promote companies that want to invest in the region that has, let's say, areas of strength that suit the Egyptian as a destination, or Egypt as a place where they need, for example, density of workers. They would need some IT centers. They would need that needs a lot of workers to be part of it. That creates also a lot of job opportunities, and they will promote on the vice versa. They will promote a destination that want to come and set up offices for the headquarters of companies. That suits maybe the 5 or 6 or 11 or 20 blue color, sorry, white color, but also experience that are looking at setting up. So each destination has something in it, but we can promote each other and we can support each other. If I have an investor who wants to go to Egypt, I will call GAFI. GAFI will take care of them. They will give them the best support they can as a country. The same will go to Dubai. They will connect with Dubai FDI and they will tell them this is something that, hey guys, we think this works well for you as a destination, and this is part of our understanding. Competition will always be there. It will never go out from destination to destination. But where the best thing to do is to find an area of complementarity that we will promote an entire region than just one or two destinations.
And I think that's so important. Yeah. And a lovely example that you've just given there, particularly I think about also strengthening the region here and strengthening, the capabilities of the Arab world. So important, I think, to really not just put one country on the map, but expand it. We have many questions coming in, and one from Ahmed Zaidi in UAE. How would you improve the attractiveness or help improve of some countries in the wider MENA region that perhaps have not enjoyed the pace of growth that we've seen in Dubai? So obviously what you're talking about, Egypt is a good example, but what could you say to countries to really help? Because ultimately everybody wants to have progress and people want to have a good life as well.
Exactly. I think it's more about opening your books, your experience of how you started, how you tackled different issues. And for us, one of the issues that people don't know that exists is the relationship we need to continue developing with our governments to understand exactly where the needs of investors is changing year by year, or sometimes month by month, depending on what's happening around you. And that needs some adaptation of new measures, new criteria, new laws sometimes. And this allows you to really perform better, to bring that needed extra dollars or dirhams or riyals or dinars to this economy or that economy. It's very important to continue while educating the international business community and investors, also continue developing internally the dialogue of what investors want. How can I guarantee themselves when they are here? What type of service I need to give them before investment, while they are investing, and after investment, which is very important. That aftercare for investors to continue. And one of the things that we found out that there is a good value for investment that would come from current investors because they know the environment, they understand the market, and they want just few tips to really increase their investment in the same location. And in 1 year, just to tell you the truth, in 2018, Dubai got 20% of its investment from current investors.
So it's look after all of the people you have here at home and the people who have already, shown, I think, that great faith in the country. A question coming in from the UK here talking about, should there be more market protection for local business? Yes, competition is good, but in terms of foreign controlled companies that might be coming in? You know, how does that play out? Or is it time that everybody just, you know, gets, you know, looks at competition and looks at it as being healthy and just perhaps performs better?
Yeah, it all depends on the market itself. If it is an open market policy like UAE and Dubai, you can open it to a certain extent, but at the same time, you have to protect certain assets that you have that makes you more, you know, income and are a strategic asset. For example, the oil and gas industry. But at the same time, there is nothing set on stone. When you look at that, then you see there is, for example, telecom, or I see transportation, or I see, it all depends location to another. And if I come and tell you this is something that is exactly what everyone should do, I will be wrong. You look at your plans, current plan, and what you want to do later, and then how things are changing around you. If that is not working for you and competition is taking more out of you, then you need to change. But we understand that this protectionism might take a year or two or maybe three because of COVID, because of the big loss. But at the same time, being flexible with your own destination to be able to attract new investment, because this is going to be also a market changer for many destinations. They lost a lot of investment or freeze investment, and they want to make up for the loss. It is there is nothing set in a stone, and it all depends on the internal policies and how much you can defend it to be more open, how much you can make it you know, realistic towards the country or the destination strategy, and also towards what you want to achieve in terms of foreign direct investment.
Now, when we look to the future, and we look very much, and just in wrapping up, I suppose, you know, what's next? What are you looking at? Where's the target? Is it manufacturing? Is it tech? Is it biotech? Is it health? I mean, where are we looking for? And what are the talents, you know, that's needed to make sure that we get to the next level?
I'll start from where you ended. Talents. Talents are a game changer right now for investment companies to take a decision to go to destination A or destination B. And this was recognized by UAE already since 2015 as a strategy for the country, and as an implementation that have came later within the you know, golden residency, that many talents have enjoyed that, and many more are coming into it. It is also important to look into that talents need destinations that are live, destinations that not only gives the job opportunity, but also where they can live. These are the new, you know, talents that we live with. It's not just the money, it's the place for them to really feel who they are, what they want is fulfilled, as well as a lifestyle. I'm talking here. Some companies will choose maybe a destination that's sometimes surprising, but because they found talent there, or they can attract talent to come and set up or work with them in that destination. On future prospects, definitely, and it was talked about many times, tech industries will lead the way, but it will be across all the board, all boards that we have. Tech and industries, tech and manufacturing, tech and agriculture, tech and healthcare. So that agri-tech, health tech, or many other areas that we look into that. Even tech and, for example, logistics, because it's what's going to do is going to just make your logistics more efficient, quick, and more profitable for the companies, consumers, and everyone in between. So yes, tech by itself, but tech is not what we need, what we used to know 10 years ago. Tech is everything in our life right now, but the same certain industries, verticals will continue to be there. Tech is horizontal across everything. So for the first 2 to 3 years, there will be the health and agriculture, but then it will evolve again to the other areas. What I want to say here, that one thing that I want to stop around is the Hamdan Center for the Future of Investment have produced a paper 2 years ago and launched it with WIPA in Davos. And it talks about a notion that have been developed by UAE and Dubai. It is the impact FDI. It is FDI that is economic friendly, which is profitable, it's society friendly, and at the same time environmentally friendly. So it is a responsible FDI. What we saw in COVID is loss of jobs for many families around the world, and this loss of jobs will hit a lot on society. There's a lot of there might be some even societies will be affected. Some families might be, torn, and people maybe divorces, maybe so many things because of these elements that we know. What is going to be very important for FDI is returning the jobs that have been lost. So FDI on society would be very important for the next 3 years until 2025 to bring back the lost jobs, to bring back more solid investment that creates job creation and allows more families to be either reunited or be created. Every single investment has a job, and every creates a job or two or 1,000. And that brings, behind that, there are families. So don't look at the investment as a dollar part. It's life behind that. This is how we look at it. And I think this is something that is significantly been produced by Dubai, and we see the elements of it. Sometimes you can see investment by itself, but I think it opens a wider horizon of the impact of investment is on humans rather than just a company.
So true, and indeed, yes, at the very heart and soul, I think, of Dubai, and it is, as you would say, all about building back better and really making sure that you have an eye on the future, as indeed you've always had. So we're really grateful that you've taken the time to join us. Thank you so much. It's always a delight to talk to you. His Excellency Fahad Al Gergawi from Dubai FTI. Thanks again.
Thank you.
And good luck with all your great work. So thank you all for joining us, and stay with ABLF. We'll be right back.